look, this was you. Look, this was you. Look, this. See, look, you're so scared to choke that you literally spit the food out your mouth.
Stop and sit back.
I already caught that. Yes, I did.
What did I just say? Stop.
It just passed. It just passed. I caught a yellow Jeep over there and a yellow truck.
And I called a yellow minivan.
Y'all want to go back home? Hey, Katina, good afternoon. How you doing this afternoon? Hey, Toya, how are you? Hey, Sharice. Hey, Melly. Good afternoon to y'all. I'm good. I had to go out and back in. What happened? What happened? Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up when y'all come in. You too, Toya. No, thank you.
I got too many.
Where you get it from?
We got it from Volcano.
Oh, I think it was on a reap. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, these apps be acting up. Y'all know these apps be acting up. But how are you all doing this afternoon? I'm doing okay. So we're gonna I'm waiting till everybody come on. I know I'm a little early. I'm a little bit early, so I'm gonna give everybody a chance to come on. But this is Autism Everyday. Welcome back if you're new. We are Autism Everyday, all about autism. DeMarcus is my son. He is 44 years old, and 47 years old, and he is autistic. Where did I get 44 from? Ooh, Lord, where did I get that from? Katina said Lindsay is excited about college. She said that weekend they have party planned. Oh, they about to start partying already. Katina said we love our autism family. Yes, we do. I'm okay, Sharice. I'm okay. I'm okay. Yes, we love our autism family. Yes, indeed. Yes, we do. But welcome back if you've been here. If you're new, welcome to Autism Everyday. Come in, say hi, say where you're tuning in from. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We are always open to questions. Today we're gonna kind of talk about being misdiagnosed, but I want to give everybody a chance to come on before I even start any talking or anything like that, because a lot of times we repeat ourselves. Hey Augusta, how are you? It's raining and storming there. Oh, it looked like it was going. It rained a little bit earlier, but not enough for nothing. And now it's partly sunny right now. Partly sunny right now, but I don't know if it's gonna rain or not. It don't look like it right this moment. But Sharisa, I came across the flyer for our first annual walk. You did? Yeah. It's still on Google. It still be popping up on Google every now and then. That for our first walk. That was a rush walk, but it was a good walk. Right? It was a rushed walk. We didn't have a uh, we didn't have a lot of time to put that walk together, but we put it together and it was good. Okay, Imani, I am talking. I can't see that.
It says next week we'll offer a chance to repair a broken bond.
Mine said today was
I got
probably better
lucky
than yesterday.
numbers. Fortune cookie. Mine got lucky numbers
My
on
fortune
it.
said that
Mine also has
today was probably better than yesterday.
read your
Yeah.
fortune.
You serious?
There's nothing to read. It's lucky numbers. Got lottery numbers.
On the other side.
Oh. Oh, I didn't see the other side. The weather has been crazy here, at least you guys. No, it's not raining right now. My fortune cookie says a good friendship is often more important than a passionate romance. That's what my fortune cookie says. Augusta said I like fortune cookies. Mine say a good friendship is often more important than a passionate romance. That's what my fortune says. Sharice said, yes, I shared it to you, but Facebook wouldn't let me share it because it was part of an event. Yeah, probably wouldn't. Yeah. Each year we've had beautiful flyers for the walk. I love it. I love looking back at all those flyers. I still have them in my photos and things like that. So a lot of times, like those, doing the, like when we're getting close to like October and stuff like that, those flyers they'll pop back up in my memory.
One time me and mom saw a flyer outside of Overwatch.
I know, yeah. Augusta said, hey, sis Sharice. I don't really like fortune cookies. I mean, I like the fortune inside, but the cookies,
Not the cookie.
they okay.
I like the cookie.
They all right.
I'm not gonna get it.
What y'all cooking for dinner today? And then we gonna start talking in a minute. Y'all, we just giving everybody a chance to. We can chit chat a little bit before everybody come on. Chit chat a little bit before when everybody come on, we can get into our topic for the day, which is autism misdiagnosed. Autism misdiagnosis. Cherie said that's where I saw it in my memory, in your memory. Yeah. 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 Because a lot of times when memories come up, it show you events or things that you have done that prior year. It'll show all, prior years. It'll show you all of that. Katina said we're having lasagna leftovers. Yeah. I don't feel like cooking. I haven't felt like cooking all week. I just have not been in a cooking mood this week. haven't been in a cooking mood at all. So I don't know what we're going to eat. I don't. The mortgage company messed my bank account up. I mean, they took a lot more money than they were supposed to. And I was like, how y'all just gonna, you know, take money out of somebody's account that they didn't authorize? Like, I never authorized them to take no 3 payments, right? They took 3 payments out of my account, mortgage payments out of my account. And I was like, because I went and looked, I was like, y'all messing with playing with my money now. Don't play with my money. Hey, Brandon, I missed your live, Stephen Brandon, because I was on the call. I was on the call with the bank, because my mortgage company took 3 payments out my account, right? They took 3 payments out. And I was like, no, the hell you didn't. I was lit. I was mad as hell. I was like, ain't no way you gonna take payments out of my account and I didn't authorize you to do that, right? Yeah, 3 payments, y'all. 3 payments. Should we say that's understandable? Yeah. I was like, what? Not one, honey, like they were supposed to. Well, actually, one. They only were supposed to take one out, but somehow it tripled, right? They took triple payments out. So they took payment for September, October, and November. That's what they took payments for. September, October, and November. I need my money back. I need you to cancel those payments because they were not authorized. They need to fix my money right away. Yeah, I missed Stephen live because I was on the phone with them. That's who I was on the phone with. I couldn't, but I did go back and watch the replay. Replay. Fix it, Jesus. Yes, fix it, Jesus. Fix it. Fix it. Hey, Susan. Good afternoon. How are you? Happy Thursday. How you doing this afternoon? No, that's what they did. Steve said, oh, I know you, like, 3 payments. That's right, Jesus, fix it. Steven said, that is insane. Somebody was trying to, trying to take my money. I was like, I didn't authorize no payments for no September, October, and November. September ain't even here yet. October not here. November not here. So you going to take 3 payments out my account without being authorized? It didn't make no sense. And the lady, she couldn't tell me how it happened. Like, how did that happen? Where did that come from? Who authorized somebody to do that? Like, who authorized somebody to do that? Susan said, came down with a little cough and cold. Oh, sending prayers your way, Susan. Sending prayers your way. Stephen said, I was just about to ask. No, they didn't know how to explain it. They didn't know how to explain it. And like I told them, I'm not paying no $30 to cancel a transaction. I'm not doing that. I'm not paying $30 to cancel anything because it wasn't my mistake. That was y'all mistake. So I need y'all to put my money back right away. I did go off. I was going off. I surely was. Yeah, praying Susan feel better. Sorry you not feeling well, Susan. Sorry to hear that. Definitely praying that you feel better. No, I cannot, honey. No, I cannot. Can you? Can you? Like, no foolishness. None of that foolishness. Right? We'll have to block you. I will have to block you if you coming on here for something other than that. Steven said, I will go off too. That's not a mistake. And then you can explain to me how it happened. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, everybody sending prayers your way, Susan. I don't know. Nope, it's impossible. It is. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Katina, I don't. Hey, Melly, how are you? Melly said, good afternoon, Susan. Hope you feel better. Yeah, praying you feel better, Susan. Summer colds are the worst. They are the absolute worst. Summer colds. What are you doing? Um, Steve was saying, I bet my money they was counting on you not to find out, and they probably would have kept doing it. No, they wouldn't. No, because that, I check my account because I know sometimes, you got to check your account. You have to check your account. Oh no, you're fine. I know. As long as you didn't come over here with no ill intent, right? That's all, right? And sometimes when people come on like that, they be having ill intent. They be trying to be funny and different kind of stuff like that. So as long as you know that you didn't come here with no ill intent, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, you're fine. Susan said, yes, I think, yeah, it's probably a summer cold. Yeah, yeah, you're fine. We just don't like no trolls and, people who come over here with foolishness. That's the only thing that we don't care for over here. We don't care for that on this channel. It's foolishness. We don't care for it at all. As long as you come with clean intentions, then you're fine. You're fine to be here. Sharice says, Susan, I finally found someone to give those new shoes to. You sent me with a toy. You did? Sonny said, my friend bullied me in college for not watching Spider B&D. Oh, yeah. Well, people bully for a whole lot of reasons. Yeah. Right, Stephen. Right. Exactly. Definitely got to keep our eyes open. Well, that's good, Sharice. You found somebody for those shoes. Yep, good you found somebody. Susan said, okay, that's great, Sharice. I'm happy you found someone. Me too. Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, so today we're gonna kind of talk about yes, one of the kids got it. Okay, Sharice, good. Today we want to kind of talk about misdiagnosed, right? A lot of our babies and adults, even adults now, they had been misdiagnosed growing up, right? A lot of our kids have been misdiagnosed, whatever it be, whatever form of disorder they may have. Y'all know, in the world that we live in, the misdiagnosed part of it is, it happens often. It happens a little too often, right? And that's why you can't just take one opinion. Sometimes you have to get uh, um, several opinions, about your child. You can't just go off of one. I think I took DeMarcus to 3, 4 doctors before we finally got a diagnosis. Um, he could have, if I had accepted that first diagnosis, he would have been misdiagnosed, right? That he would have been misdiagnosed if I had just settled for the first um, diagnosed. If I had settled for the first one, then he would have been misdiagnosed. Steven said this is called newcomers pre-screen. I know, right? Steven got a pre-screen. Yes, yes, yes. But we have gotten a couple people over here, who's on that foolishness. Susan said that's why it's important to get the right specialists and experts to give a diagnosis for disabilities. Right, right, exactly, because a lot of these regular doctors, they look at a child and they may see several different things and they just pick one, right? They just pick one that's closest to what's going on in your child's life, right? Depending on symptoms and things like that, they just pick one and give you a diagnosis. And you shouldn't be accepting of that. You should definitely get several diagnoses before you say, oh well, this is what my child has, this is who they are, because being misdiagnosed could lead to not getting the right treatments, not getting the right services that your child needs. So misdiagnosed can lead to a lot of things that are not good. Yeah. Uh, Augusta said exactly that's so true. Yeah, it can lead to them getting treatments for things that they don't even need it for because of a misdiagnosis. You know, so yeah, I went to several doctors before, and the last doctor is the one that actually understood a little bit about autism, and that's where he got his final diagnosis from the last doctor that we went to. Uh, the second, I think the first doctor said something outrageous, mental and all that. They were talking all kinds of stuff. The second doctor was talking mental, developmentally delayed. Uh, he kind of hinted at autism, but didn't diagnose him with autism. And then the third doctor was talking just mental, all just straight out mental. The third doctor actually was the one. The fourth doctor was the one that actually gave a diagnosis of autism. Yeah. Hey, Demarcus, you had a good day? You did? Yeah. Hey, Sarah, good afternoon to you. How are you? Now, y'all need to come move these things so I can go around. But yeah, you gotta, yeah. And not, sometimes you have to go to like neurologists, psychologists, different doctors. And different doctors do give different diagnoses depending on which one you take your child to. So yeah. Yep, depending on which one you take them to. I'll take your mask. Steven says some doctors I don't even see how they even got their license because dealing with people, you got to be sensitive and caring, but only see dollar sign. Yeah, yeah. Hey Richard, how are you? Hey Linda C. Susan said yes, I was the same way. I had people from the autistic department to come to Stefan daycare when he attended. Then Stefan had a psychologist evaluation and everything. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep, that is true, Stephen. A lot of doctors are not very, they just don't care. I see it all the time. Y'all know, in where I work at, I see these things all the time, and I see them all the time. I see it all the time, and it's really sad that doctors and nurses and stuff are not as caring as they used to be. But even back then, some didn't care. So it's still like that today. They said good afternoon, Demarcus. Steven said especially with the C-19, they were just slapping that on everybody. Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. Go ahead. My phone crooked. It's crooked, y'all. It is crooked. I'm trying to fix it right. Hold on a minute, y'all. Give me a second. Yeah. All right. Everybody say good afternoon, Demarcus. So yeah. Because hold on a minute, Steve. Hold on a minute, y'all. Y'all know I gotta look around over here to see these comments. Hey, Sarah. Sarah said good afternoon. It's so sad when they don't care because it's the child that suffers. Yeah. Melly said my son went to 3 doctors before being diagnosed. Yeah. Susan said good afternoon. I didn't recognize your name. Augusta. Yeah, that's Augusta. Yeah. Hey Sherry, how are you? You found your way over here, Sherry?
Oh, hey, oh, hi. Hi, good day, what's up?
Good job. DeMarcus said he had a good day at workshop. He said good afternoon. Susan said pretty much they still don't know what called. No, they probably never will know, Susan. That probably will be. It'll be, yeah. I don't think they'll ever know what truly causes it. I don't, and for it to be a disorder and not a disease, I don't think they really, I don't think the research is there. I don't. There's research, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of research, but I don't think it's the way, that the research is not there how it should be, right? They spend the big bucks on things like cancer and all those types of things that are more, but at the rate that autism is growing, that you would think that they would be trying to really see what is causing this, right? You'd think they would, right? Because it's affecting our children who are our future, right? This disorder is affecting our children and they are the future. So why wouldn't you try to figure out, what is causing it? But hey, I don't think that's what's going on at all. I don't. I'm going to see what y'all saying. Give me a minute. I'm going to see what y'all talking about. Is this truck blocking the street or they just sitting there? Hold on, y'all. I got to see what they doing down here. They got a whole truck out there in the street. Oh, yeah. I see what they're doing. All right, y'all. Give me a second. I'm going to read your comments. Got to get around these corners and whatnot. Hold on. They put those big bucks into finding cure for HIV. They do, Stephen. Yeah. Sherry said, "Hey, sugar babies." Right, you don't know much about autism, right, Sarah? Hold on a minute. Let me see what that was. What Cherie said. Some of the doctors, patients, and some of the doctors have no patience. They don't. Hold on. They do not. A lot of doctors don't have patience. A lot of them, baby, don't have patience. I don't know what's wrong with my phone thing. It's trying to twist and turn all kinds of way. For a child being misdiagnosed, hold on, I can't read it that way. Hold on, I gotta read it this way. For a child that's being misdiagnosed, that causes major issues with that child in the short and long term and makes the conditions worse. Yep, could. Definitely. Linda C says so many stages of autism. I don't think they will ever find out enough about autism. I don't either, Linda C, but we always, we always can pray and hope, pray and hope that they will. We always can pray and hope, but yeah. But we don't, there's not a whole lot known about autism or what causes it, that type of stuff. It's just not a lot. It's not a lot out here, right? We know that it's a disorder, we know that. And we know that sometimes it's from birth for some kids, and then sometimes kids don't develop symptoms until they're like, past a year old or something like that. They put they put big bucks into finding cures for HIV and, different other kind of stuff. Yeah. I went to 2 doctors for my son. Augusta says she went to 2 doctors for her son. Yeah. Yeah. So being misdiagnosed is bad. Like, it's not a good thing, right? It's a bad thing. You want to get the right diagnosis when you take your child to the doctors. You're looking for answers as to why your child is like this. And sometimes those doctors don't have those answers. They don't have it. Augusta said, I noticed it after the vaccines. Yep, a lot of people say that all the time, Augusta. Right after those vaccines, things started to happen to their children. Um, Susan said, scenario: if you were a teacher in a classroom, a parent came into your classroom and told you her child had autism. What would be your reaction to the parent? What would you say? What would y'all say? What would y'all reaction be to the parent if a parent came and told you all that their child is autistic in the classroom? I'll probably tell them this is not the classroom for your child. You need to find some different school, because these, especially in these public schools, the public schools are not designed to handle our power babies. They're just not designed. They're not. They don't have the training. They don't have the skill set. They just don't. They haven't dealt with it. They haven't been taught pretty much nothing about autism. So I would definitely say find a place where your child can really be helped in the capacity that they need, right? Because sometimes public schools just not it, y'all. It's just not it. Because a lot of times they throw these kids in these special education classes, and they're still not learning anything. A lot of times you got to have, and if you do put them in a setting like that, you got to make sure you have some outside therapy for your child. You got to make sure you have some outside therapy for your child if you're going to put them in a public school. You do. Hold on. Linda C say not enough research. Definitely not enough. Uh, Stephen say, and if you don't want your child to be an experiment till they new stuff that they haven't really tested out either. And you know what? I was watching something one day, and they were talking about this medication that they have for autism, right? I mean, it was so uninterested to me. I was not interested in it because I don't know. I feel like having medication for autism and not knowing fully what causes it. How can you treat something that you don't even know what caused it? Right? That's my whole thing. How can you treat something with medication when you don't even know what caused it in the first place? So how can you give someone medication for something that you have no clue about what caused it? Like, I would never. No, I would never. Sarah say it takes so long to get into the doctors to well, I don't have no issues getting DeMarcus to no doctors or nothing like that. Let me finish reading it. I didn't read the whole thing. I half read it. It takes so long to get into the doctors to look. Lori was supposed to go see last year. They just now coming up with the appointment this week. It's too late now. Well, I mean, if one doctor don't work, then you probably need to go to another one. Like, find another one. Find one that could see her when she needs to be seen, right? And not stick to just one. You might have to go outside of the network that you're in to get her into a doctor's appointment. Hey, Felicia. Oh my God, there go Felicia, y'all. Laura, where you been, Laura? Hey, look, there go Felicia. Y'all, Felicia done found us over here on YouTube. Oh Lordy. Hey Laura, how are you? Long time no see. Yep, that go for Alicia, y'all. Sharice said I would suggest they find a facility more equipped to help them, because the public school system is barely equipped to help so-called normal kids. Ain't that the truth, Sharice? That is the truth. right? But I would definitely talk to that parent if I know, if I'm like in that classroom and I know anything about autism, and I would definitely point her in a different direction. I would point that parent in a different direction, you know. And if she decided to leave that child there, I would definitely suggest outside therapy, right? I would definitely suggest that outside therapy, right? Because they're gonna need it. Um, Augustus said, I would say have your child being diagnosed by a medical professional, and then let them know if we can handle it or not, and suggest the parent to talk with school guidance counselor. Yes, Augusta. Yes, yes. Uh, Susan said, great answer, Sharice and Augusta. Yes. Katina said, that's a specialist, probably. Yeah. So. Yeah, I know it is a specialist, but still, if one doesn't work, you have to find another one. You know, you can go outside of that one and find another one, right? You have to, do what you got to do what you got to do for your child, right? Felicia, Lord Jesus. Look, Stephen Brandon said, "Oh, Jesus Christ of Nazareth." Right, Stephen. We good? Felicia, how are you? Felicia said, "Hope y'all been doing. We've been doing good." Uh, I see Felicia everywhere. I bet. Susan said, "If it was preschool child, I would have a meeting with parent, find out the severity of the child." Right. That's what I was trying to say. If you gotta know where that child is at. You gotta know where they're at and what they're capable of doing and handling. So you definitely would have to have a sit down with the parent and find out exactly what's going on. If I had training, I would try to see if I could work. Right, right, Susan. Yes, yes. Sherry said, me and Rick visited his aunt in nursing home today. Oh, that was nice, Sherry. Very nice. Sarah said, Brian Cousins, Lori, daughter, autistic child for 16 years. She loved it. You got to be patient and have compassion for sure. She decided to start being a preschool teacher. Oh, that's nice. Very nice. Yeah, I do. We be on Facebook in the morning. You know, you blocked over there. Yeah, we do Facebook in the morning, and we do YouTube in the afternoon. Sharice said that also goes along with the school system needing training to teach children on all levels, because some autistic based schools don't help much either. Kids get, oh yeah, they do. You just got to find a school that is a good fit for your child, right? They're not going to be perfect, right? None of these schools, none of these facilities, these workshops, none of that stuff is going to be perfect. But you got to find one that is at least is going to try and help your child. Like, you have to find one that's going to try to help, right? I'm not going to tell nobody to put their kid in a place where they're not going to get anything out of it, right? Right? You don't want to put your child somewhere that they're not gaining anything out of it. They're not growing. They're just stuck, right? Who wants their child to be stuck, right? You want to see growth. You want to see growth. And if these school systems and these different places are working with your child in the way that you can see growth, then it may be a good fit. But if you don't see no growth, you don't see nothing, no changes after a long period of time, you don't see no changes, then they're probably not doing anything. They're probably not doing anything with your child. They probably just sitting them there and letting them do whatever, you know? That's what a lot of these schools do. That's why a lot of these kids sometimes go to school and be worse when they come out. Yeah. So it's crazy, you know. I remember Demarcus being in a school that was bad for him. It was a really bad. It was bad. The people were bad, and every child that went there was pretty much bad. They were awful. It was the worst school ever. I pulled him out of there real quick. That's the one I almost went to jail. They almost went to jail at that place. I almost went to jail at that place. I was gonna be doing Probably life. Look, I probably was gonna be in there for life because I was gonna take all their asses. I was gonna take them all out, right? That was my intent to take all of them out. But I'm glad I didn't because that would have taken away from my child. Because ain't nobody gonna do my child like me, right? Nobody. I don't care who you are. Ain't nobody gonna do my child like me. Um, let's see. Let me see. Sharissa, is mostly about finding the best fit for your child since autism has so many different levels, whether it's a regular school or autism based one. Exactly. 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 Yep, you just got to find a fit for your child. You do. Sarah say Lori teacher still ask about her, making sure she good. We were so blessed with her high school. Yeah. Yep. Susan said I had an autistic child in my classroom, but we had a pro paraprofessional in my in our classroom. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me. And then we can a little bit more. Um. Um. Paraprofessional in our classroom to help with the child. So it was a three teacher with about 18 children, one autistic child. Yeah, that's good, Susan. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I saw that, Sherry. I read that already, honey. I did. I'm glad that you all went and visited. Hey Angie, how are you? Sarah said our school issues where the teachers weren't getting paid enough. Well, they none of them are, right? But that's a profession that they chose. Our kids shouldn't suffer because they're not getting paid enough. This is the career path that you chose, right? Our children didn't choose it for you. This is a career path that you chose. So if you're not getting paid enough, then maybe you need to change your profession. Not let our kids suffer because of your pay range, right? This is a profession that you chose. You knew what it was paying when you went into it. So, you know, you should have thought about that before you chose that profession. And our kids definitely should not suffer because you think you don't get paid enough. Like, come on now. Like, make it make sense. You know, that was your choice, not our child's. Yeah, you're doing good, Angie. Good. So, yeah, I had somebody try to rage bait me today, y'all. I ain't gonna talk, I ain't gonna speak too much, but just know somebody tried to rage bait me today. But yeah, our kids should not have to suffer because of the profession that a person chooses, right? They shouldn't. That is not our children's problem, not our problem. That's a you problem, and you should do your job until you decide that you want to do something different that's going to pay you more, right? Teachers don't get paid enough, right? We all know that. We know that teachers don't get paid enough for the things that they endure in the school system. They definitely don't get paid enough. But that was their choice to become that profession, to choose that profession, right? But misdiagnosed is a big deal, right? It is a huge deal because being not getting the proper diagnosis is bad. It's bad for long term, right? Because your child in your family would go through life believing that this is the diagnosis that your child has, and it's something totally different. Like a lot of kids are diagnosed with autism, and they really not autistic. They may be ADHD, ADD. They may actually be developmentally delayed. So it is so important to get a proper diagnosis as close. as possible to the proper diagnosis, right? None of these diagnoses are set in stone or anything like that. And sometimes as our kids grow, the diagnosis that they were given, it no longer fits. So now what? Are you going to re-diagnose them to something different when you thought it was this, and then you now you're thinking it's something else because the symptoms have changed, right? That does not mean that that diagnosis does not stand. Sometimes that means that your child is growing, that your child is learning, right? They're learning and they're growing and they're learning to live beyond that diagnose, right? To live beyond that diagnose. A diagnose is not every part of a child's life. It's not every part of parent or family. It's not every part of our lives. It's not. It is a diagnosis that we receive and we accept it, and we have to do whatever we can to help our children. Sarah say truth. Yeah, the mark is sleeping. He's sleeping. So I don't have a clue. You know, I don't. It's just misdiagnosis is not a good thing. It definitely is not a good thing. Sherry said, "I gotta." That's beautiful, Sherry. That's beautiful, honey. Beautiful. Okay, that is great. Awesome. Uh, so yeah. So did any of you? It did any the ones that on here who have power babies? Did you all have? Did you all receive different diagnoses? Like, did y'all receive different diagnoses? Did y'all receive different diagnoses, or was your initial diagnosis autism? Right? Was it autism straight off, or was it something else that they were diagnosed before they were diagnosed with autism? Oh, I could not take a nap. I laid down. Yeah. So y'all answer that question, and I'm just gonna chit chat while I wait for y'all to answer. Susan said Stefan was officially diagnosed. So that was the only diagnosis that he received. Susan, was that the only diagnosis that y'all received? Hey Donna K, how are you? Thankful Thursday it is. Was that the only diagnosis that was received for Stefan? Yes. Okay. Yeah. 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 Like I said, they tried to give me diagnosis, but you know, I didn't. I don't know what was in me that made me feel like this wasn't it. Like it was something else other than what they were saying. Linda C say my son was diagnosed with developmental delay. Yeah, yeah. A lot of kids were. Linda C. A lot of kids were. A lot of them. A lot of kids were diagnosed with that. Sarah said yes. At first, they told us she had developmental delay and ADHD and ADD and malformation in her brain. Then at 13, they decided to test her for it and confirmed it. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. It is because they're unsure, Katina. It definitely is. Katina says probably because they are really unsure, and they are. And developmentally delay is just a diagnose that fits many different things as well, right? Right? Because they can be delayed in different areas. It's not a specific developmental delay, right? It could be in many different areas. When you get a diagnosis like that, it could be many different areas. Linda C said he was also hyperactive. Yeah. Hey Denise, how are you? Yeah. It developmentally delayed was an easy diagnose, right? To slap on someone. It was. And that's why it was used so much, um, before autism really became a big deal. And some kids had to be re-diagnosed, right? They were diagnosed with developmentally delayed, and then they went back and diagnosed a lot of those kids with autism. Yeah, yeah. Denise said, "Hey, Demarcus, how was your day at work?" And cognitive issues. Yeah. 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 So Linda C, did he go? Did your son go to regular school? I don't know if I asked you this before. Linda C, did your son go to regular school? Susan, did your son go to regular school? Did they go to a regular school? Katina said, let me ask you a question. You know the lady on Facebook dances a lot. She says she recently diagnosed with adult autism. I don't know. Katina, I see a lot of things in that particular person, Katina. I see a lot of different things in her, and I don't know so much if it's autism, right? Adult autism. I think she have a lot of mental issues as well. I think she probably could have 3 or 4 diagnoses going on. To be honest, looking at her and seeing how she acts and stuff like that, I say she got like several diagnoses going on. I do. Katina said, I was wondering, multiple personalities. Yeah, I think she has a lot. She also has CP in her legs. We didn't find out until 13. She couldn't walk until 3 early steps helped her. Yeah, yeah, that's great, Sarah. Melly said, my son has ADHD, ED, and that was the only diagnosis they gave him. Okay, all right, Melly. Yep. Yeah, that lady got a lot going on, Katina. I don't think it's no one specific thing that she got going on, like for real. I see a lot of things in that lady for real. Do she still come on, Katina? Richard said my uncle was diagnosed with Asperger's, then autism. Yeah, and that happens a lot. They'll diagnose with something else, and then later on they'll re-diagnose middle of first that he was very disruptive because when he was in Head Start, whatever he wanted. Yeah. Yeah, that's called no structure. That's no structure right there, Linda C. Katina said, yes, not as much. Oh, I didn't know she still come on. I don't see none of that stuff. She got a lot of things going on. It definitely ain't funny. Like, that lady has a lot going on. Rich back in the 40s. Well, back in the 40s, we know what it was called, right? They hid these kids back in the early, before we were born and stuff like that. A lot of parents hid their kids who had disabilities. A lot of parents hid their kids, or they put them into those mental institutions where they drugged them and tortured them, right? A lot of that went on back in the day. Um, Susan said, yes, Stefan went to a regular school, but that makes sense, Susan. That makes sense. That makes sense. And back then, these classrooms were not as filled as they are now. These schools are filled to capacity because they've closed so many, and they don't have enough teachers, and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of different things that affect the school system. Um, Sarah said they told us Lori had double chromosomes. Yeah. Richard said, my grandfather saved my uncle from being institutionalized. What? Yeah, and that's what they did back in the day. Y'all know that's what they did. They threw these kids in these institutions, and they left them there, and they tortured those kids. A lot of torture was going on, just a lot. They would medicate them very heavily. It was bad, and how could they not be the way that they were because of what was happening to them? You know, those institutions back in the day was horrible. That was just a hellhole, right? If you put a person into one of those places back then, it was a hellhole. It was no place of help, none. It was not a place where they got help, right? And when the people, when people would come to visit their loved ones, they would, prop them up and medicate them good so they wouldn't be acting out and all that kind of stuff. That's what they did. That's what they did back in the day. Uh, uh, Sarah said they closed a bunch of schools in our area and combined two schools. They got like 1,000 kids in one school. Ooh, that's a lot of kids. A lot of kids. That's a lot. That is a lot. That's a lot, y'all. That's a lot. You know, these schools are very overcrowded. They don't have enough teachers, enough special ed teachers, enough teachers who have been properly trained to help our children. They just don't have it. Richard said, "You ain't." No, Richard, it's the truth. This is what they did, right? You could go back and find recordings of the torture that was put up on people with disabilities. You can go back and find recordings of all of that, right? You can go find recordings of these things that took place back then, right? Every now and then one leaks out, and you be like, what? When I first saw the things that people were doing, like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the things that were happening to people. I couldn't believe it. You know, I couldn't believe it. Sarah say in New Orleans, a lot of those, yeah. In like in those southern states, in northern states too. Now, don't get me wrong, they had them all over the United States. But I know growing up, I would see families with children who had disabilities. I didn't, you didn't quite understand it, but they would always hide these kids. And I couldn't understand why they were hiding their children. I couldn't understand why they were hiding them because I was young, I was a little girl, and I just didn't understand. They would always put them in a room, like when they would have company. Say you went to somebody's house and they had a child that had a disability, they wouldn't allow that child to interact with the people who were there. Like they would make them go in another room and stay in there until the company left. Like they wouldn't allow them to interact. Linda C. said Dre started to act like other kids in his class, so I had to work with him to improve his attitude. Yes. Hoes and a horse and buggy tours for that. And I don't want to tour nothing like that. I wouldn't want to tour anything like that. That's not something that I want to see. That's not something that I would want to see. You know, I I've seen some videos of stuff like that, and it's horrible. And then, like I said, hiding kids. Like, I had this neighbor, and I never knew she really had no kids. I never did see the kids outside playing or nothing. And one day, though, the kid got sick. That's the only way anybody ever knew that they had kids in that house because they never brought those kids out. I don't know how they got away with it for as long as they did, but eventually they got sick and one of them died. Right? They got sick and one ended up dying. And I remember not too long after that, um, you know, they ended the house became was empty after that. It was empty after that. But they had several kids in that house, and I never knew that those people had kids, and they were neighbors. Never heard those kids, none of that. Uh, they sleep, yeah. Hmm. But I would never, ain't no way I'm hiding no child of mine. I don't care what people say. I don't care how they look. Like, I don't care. I'm not hiding my child I'm not going to keep my child from outside of a house. I don't know, Felicia. Don't have a clue. Right. Join in on the conversation, right? Join in on the conversation, right? That's what I need y'all to do. Join in on the conversation. Ask questions. Richard say many grandmother was awful. Tony uncle like that. Really? Wow. Yeah. Yes. Hide their kids. They didn't eat with the family. They didn't do nothing with the family. A lot of times they would leave them at home. If not with someone, they would leave them at home by themselves and all that kind of stuff. I think a lot of families were cruel as well to their family member who had a disability. I believe that family members were cruel too. Back then, I think they were real cruel, and some are still today. Like some parents are cruel to their children the way they are. Family members are cruel to them because of the way they are, because they are defenseless. They can't defend themselves, and a lot of family members and friends take advantage of these kids. They do, and adults, they take advantage of them. Richard says she heard my uncle always. She was ashamed of him. Your grandmother, Sarah, say no way, know how my girl go exactly. And Demarcus says, "Oh, right with me, baby. Anywhere I went, he was right there. And I didn't care to leave him with nobody, other than my mother or his dad, and that was it. Nobody but my mother and Demarcus' dad. That was it. Uh, you know, the cruelty towards our kids, and the mean, just mean and just awful. It's awful, y'all. It's awful. People look at our kids and think that, what do you think, they're not human? What do you think, they don't have feelings? What do you think? What are you thinking in your small mind, right? What are you thinking in your small mind when you look at someone with a disability and you look down on them, you talk down to them, you treat them bad? Like, what are you thinking in your small brain? Uh, Sarah said Lori is 18 years old and never stayed the night anywhere. Yeah. Tori said I was going through it when I was in school, when I was younger with my disability. I was in speech therapy in school and I was in regular classes. I used to get talked about. I bet you did. Bullying is very real. Bullying is very real. Very real, right? It is very, very real. You know, bullying is something else. You know, people try to bully you into being how they want you to be, how they see you. People bully you because of how you look, how you talk, how you walk, because you may not wear the same style of clothes they wear. You may look a little different. You know, all kinds of bullying goes on, right? All kinds of bullying goes on. It goes on. Sarah said, yes, it's on social media. Oh, yes, honey. I think social media is the biggest bullying thing ever right now, right? It's the biggest thing ever right now, the bullying on social media. It's huge. It's a huge problem. And it's not just children bullying children, it's adults bullying adults and bullying children, children bullying adults. It's a mixture. It's a whole mixture of it going on. It is. Linda C. say, my older sister used to mock my son, and now she has a son with autism. You never know if it can. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly, Linda C. Right? The same karma that you are uh, uh, putting on somebody else can turn around and come right back on you. Right? Right back on you. Sooner or later, it catches up with you. So that's why I was saying earlier, be careful how you treat people and how you talk to them, right? You have to be careful how you're treating people and how you're talking to them. You know. Uh, hey, Miss Leslie, how are you? How you doing today? Uh, Richard said exactly, yeah. Sarah said that thing about Perez left me not sleeping well. Wow. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. Oh, is that the lady that unalived her three children? Is that what you're talking about, Sarah? I know Miss Doreen said she was watching some court case where this lady unalived her three kids. I'm not sure if that's the same thing. Um, I'm doing okay, Miss Leslie. I'm doing okay. Doing okay. I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to, Sarah. I done heard so many stories about, and sometimes I don't pick up names. I just pick up stories. I just see stories and not know the names of the people, right? Knowing the names of people, it makes it more personal when these types of things happen. My uncle finished the ninth grade and came home and said not going to any more school because he was teased awful relentlessly. Yeah, wow, that's awful, Richard. Awful. That is just awful. That is just awful. Oof. Sarah said no, it's all over. And now on Facebook, I really can't describe what happened, but it was an actor. Oh, okay, okay, Sarah. I'll see. I'll go look and see. You don't gotta explain it. You don't have to explain it. That's okay. Yeah. Your uncle said he wasn't going back, huh? And he didn't go back, right? He didn't go back. Wow. 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 Mm-mm. Yeah. Uh. Yeah. So I'm not sure, quite sure what you're talking about, Sarah. But I'll go look and see if I can see what you're talking about. So yeah. But y'all, I think we're about to get off of here. Make sure you all, if you did not hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the subscribe. Tell somebody to come subscribe. To tell somebody. Up, right, right. Hit the thumbs up. Don't leave out without hitting the thumbs up. He's a reality. All right. Up. Share the live if you can. Share if you can. Tell somebody to come over and subscribe to Autism Everyday. Um, I appreciate all the topics. Sharice be giving me a lot of, and I have a lot that I could talk about, but I want to talk about the things that you all want to talk about when it comes to autism, right? You know, I want to help anyone to understand. So that's why I ask for topics. That's why I ask you all for topics. So it's something that you're interested in talking about as well. Sarah say, y'all have a great, you too, Sarah, you have a great one as well. Have a great one as well. So yeah, praying time with, oh yeah, praying time with mama. Yeah, I actually went and set my notifications for her. Because I didn't set my notifications. I forgot to set it. So I'll try to pop over there with her, with praying time with mama. Richard say nope. Nope. Then he was hired on on an Air Force base as a janitor, worked there for 40 years. Oh, well, I got to go check that out. Send it to me, Richard or Sarah. Send the story to me. Send it to me, and I'll try and read it and see what it's about. Send it to me. Well, y'all, I'm going to go out. I have to figure out what we're going to eat. I really don't have a clue as to what we're going to eat. I didn't take anything out. I did not take anything out to cook. I didn't. I don't know, why I'm having such a hard time cooking right now. Right? I'm struggling with cooking right now. Richard said made 38,000 his last year before retiring. Oh, okay. All right, check it out. Who you talking about? Your uncle? You talking about your uncle Richard, right? You talking about your uncle? Sarah said, don't watch the video, Miss E, though. Just read the storyline. Oh, okay, Sarah. You talking about your uncle, Richard. I know you talking about your, yeah. But anyway, y'all, thank you all for great conversation. Thank you all. It is greatly appreciated that we all can come here and talk about autism. Yeah, I knew you were talking, yeah, I figured you were talking about your uncle. that we can all come here and talk about autism, ask questions, express our ideas, express our thoughts and our opinions and our, life experiences. I love it. I do. I absolutely love it. Cherie say because you just don't have the energy for it. It's understandable your mind is on it. I know I don't. And my energy level is a little off today. It is a little off, but I don't feel bad or anything like that, y'all. I don't feel bad. I feel good in my body. I feel good in my body as far as like pain, and I don't have no pains or nothing like that. My energy level is definitely off. You probably can hear it in my voice, right? I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. No matter what I do, I can't pep it up right now, but I'm doing my best, right? I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. You too, Melly. Richard say, yeah, I'm doing my best, right? Sharice say, I like this format. Everyone has awesome feedback and is so intelligent. It is, right, Sharice? I love it. And this is how we used to be on Facebook, if you all remember. What we're doing here on YouTube, if you all remember, this is what we used to do on Facebook as well, right? We used to talk about autism a whole lot, and like I said, I'll still say we will revive Facebook at some point. We will revive Facebook at some point. It will be revived, right? We will have a revision celebration, right? We'll have a Facebook revision celebration. Sarah said, yes, yes, indeed. I am too. I'm learning well, right? Just because Demarcus is 47 years old don't mean that I know everything, right? That's not what it means. And that is not what it means. I'm always learning something new. Always learning something new. Always learning something new, y'all. Yeah. So we are all learning together, right? We're all learning together, and I pray to God that He sends more people who want to learn and who wants to understand as best as they can about autism as well. As well. So that is my prayer: is to, for God to just send the people who want to know, who have the questions, who don't know where to turn, who have nowhere to turn, who has no support, who can't come on a platform and talk about what they're going through with their children. You can come here and do that, right? You can come here and do that very freely. It is no judgment over here because we are all on the same journey, just right? Just doing it differently because our children are different. So yeah, so I would love, you know, for this to continue and for us to continue to grow this platform as well, this channel as well. Back and look, Sharice, I have never really went back and looked at the replays. I have not. I have not gone back and looked at the replays. I mean the numbers, as far as the numbers on the replays, I have not. I'll have to go look and see, right? I have not. I don't want to focus on. I really don't want to focus on that. I want this thing to grow naturally, right? We want it. We definitely want it to grow naturally. But I appreciate you for pointing that out because I definitely didn't know. I did not know. Never even thought to look either. Never even thought to look. Right? I never even thought to look at the numbers or anything like that. I do look at the number of subscribers. Like, I see we have a few more new subscribers. So if you know somebody that wants to, know about autism, want to speak freely about autism, subscribe, right? Tell them to come and subscribe and come over here and be a part of Autism Every Day. Tell them to come on, right? Tell them to come on. Share this with someone, right, who may need something that we may have. You know, just never know. I'm gonna have to turn the air up just a little bit. Sharice said you can see them when you watch the replay. It says how many views. Oh, okay, Sharice. Okay, all right, all right. Never really paid any attention. I'm gonna have to go look at it. I'll look at it. But anyway, y'all, we're about to get off here. It is 3:07. We're gonna go ahead and figure out what we're gonna eat. I'm gonna try to relax before I make my last night at work tonight. Praying that it don't be busy tonight, because I don't have the energy to run around tonight. I don't have the energy to run around. All right. All right. So we love you all. Appreciate you all. And we are Autism Every Day. Make sure you check out our flyer and know that we are on our third Autism Everyday third annual walk. Will be happening in the great city of Chicago, October the 3rd, 2026. We will be meeting at the Shed Aquarium 9 a.m. K plus walked. We will be out spreading the word about autism. If you know somebody who is interested, make sure you share that information with them. Share that information. If you're in Chicago, surrounding areas, make sure you come out and walk with us. Right? It is a free walk open to the public. All right. All right. Say good night, y'all.
Good night.
Go ahead.
Good night. See you all. Oh.
And as I always say, keep love in your heart and smile on your face. So praise in your mouth, God first, and He will take care of the rest. I love you guys. Appreciate you all. And we will see you in the morning if God say the same on the ride to drop the Marcus off. Peace and love to you all.